UFC is having a great generation of Latino fighters: Jorge Masvidal, Kelvin Gastelum, Brian Ortega, Alexa Grasso, Brandon Moreno. So many good fighters. Can you talk about the momentum of these Latino fighters that are having in the sport, and also how these fighters have become stars in UFC?
Yeah, no, this is something that I expected from day one. That's why, Latin America was so important to me. Some of the baddest human beings that have ever walked the face of this earth are Latino, and boxing was so dominant in South America, whether it's Mexico or Puerto Rico, Cuba, whatever it may be. I knew that once we introduced mixed martial arts to them and people started training, I knew that we were going to get some bad motherfuckers from South America and all these different places, Latinos.
Which of these Latino fighters would you say have surprised you the most?
Well, obviously, the Moreno was incredible in that last fight, and look at how much Alexa Grasso has improved and changed her game and physically changed her body, over the last year and a half or so. And I could keep going on and on about everybody else. I mean, they're all impressive. That's why they're fighting in the UFC. I mean, I'm only looking for the best in the world. I'm looking for the absolute best in the world in each weight class. So anybody who's here is impressive.
Can you talk about Brandon Moreno? He comes from a very humble family. His family sells piñatas in Tijuana, and how he has grown in the company.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you look at Figueiredo and what he's done to everybody else that he's fought, he's been absolutely dominant in every fight that he's been in. And then you look at the Moreno fight, one of the best fights of last year. And he was in the fight the whole time. The rematch is a fight that people are looking forward to. The kid's done an amazing job since he's been here, and he's one of the absolute best in the world.
As far as Valentina Shevchenko, she has a lot of Latino fans also. Can you talk about how dominant she has become in her division?
Yeah, no, she's incredible. She's an absolute badass. I mean, if you look right now, as far as the women's divisions go, you got Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, and Weili Zhang. They all have really tough fights coming up, and fun fights. I mean, fights where Valentina and Weili have been so dominant that these are actually fights people are going, ooh, they could possibly lose these fights. And these are the fights that actually take these type of champions to a whole nother level. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for these fights. And Valentina is an absolute beast. I'm not surprised that she has tons of Latino fans because they love people who are very well-rounded, talented, and who have a ton of heart. And it doesn't surprise me.
Do you think fans are going to get to see a third fight with Amanda?
Who knows? I mean, think about this. If Valentina Shevchenko wins this fight against Andrade and Weili Zhang beats Namajunas, those two could fight too. I mean, imagine that fight.
Yeah. Pretty, And
if Valentina wins and beats Weili Zhang, then she could probably fight Amanda Nunes again too. I mean, there's just so many different ways that this could play out, and they're all fun.
Also, a lot of fans asked in Mexico if UFC plans to return to Mexico when things get back to normal. Are there any plans of returning to Mexico or maybe another city in Latin America?
Not only we're planning on returning to Mexico, the whole, I had some land down there that we had figured out. We were building a performance institute, and the land deal blew up. But the timing couldn't have been better for that to happen, because then this whole COVID crap started. So, yeah, I have big plans for Mexico, not just events, but other things too.
Excellent. Oh, two more questions, Dana. I know you love boxing. I want to ask you if you have any plans of, do you see yourself promoting a boxing event in the future?
I never say no when it comes to that. You know, I've taken a look at the sport so many different ways, and it's so broken and needs to be fixed. I mean, realistically, the only thing that's still solid are the Latino fans. I mean, Mexico and Mexicans keep that thing alive right now. It's you know, if it wasn't for the Mexicans, I don't know. I honestly don't. And I'm talking about in America. You know what I mean? So I never say never.
And finally, as a fan, do you think Canelo is the best boxer out there?
Canelo's a bad boy. You know, talk about a guy who continues to improve and looks so good and slick. Every time he comes out, he looks better and better. And yes, he's one of the, if not the biggest star in the sport right now. And yeah, one of the best.